Yeah, hi everyone, welcome again in the session related to the mobile security. And I'm Dr. Digvijay Singh Rathod, Associate Professor in the Associate Dean, School of Cyber Security and Digital Forensics, National Forensic Sciences Universities, which already have the status of the institutions of national importance. Now, today I have idea to discuss about the input validation issues. We already seen in the earlier session that if you don't sanitize the input which will be entered by the user, or if you don't validate the input which will be entered by the user, that may result in the or that may expose the vulnerability. So today we are going to discuss about the implementation of the input validations issues part 2 using the abuse web view. Prior one, it was related to the ASCII injection. So let's see. Whenever we developed any of the application, and if you want to access any of the websites using the URL as a part of your activity, or if you want to display any of the HTML page as a part of your activity, then we normally use a web view. So word itself tell you that the view which we are going to use with our activity of your Android applications, that is going to be view the content related to the web. That is called the web view. The second thing is internally it uses the WebKit rendering engine to display the web pages inside as a part of your activity, and it supports the method to navigate the forward and the backward text searches. The fourth point is it has some nice features such as a support for the use of the JavaScript also. Or in other way, I would say that the Android web view is a view that displays the web page of the or the content inside your applications as a part of your activity. And you can also specify the HTML string and can show it inside your application using the web view. And the web view turns your applications to the web applications. Okay, so ultimately, basically, if you really want to display any web content inside as a part of your activity, you can use the web view. But sometimes what will happen is, obviously if somebody wants to display the website as a part of the activity, then you need to take the input of a URL from the user. And whenever we have the input related matter, we just need to think about the input sanitization or the data validation. Okay, so what we are going to do is, if you don't do this, then instead of the URL, the user can enter some other, the dangerous string or any kind of invalidated data, and that invalidated data may be executed by the Android applications or maybe by the third-party API, or it could be the database, and that may result or may reveal some of the sensitive informations to your activity. So that is what we are trying to display today. So that will back to our, I would say, in our Genymotion emulator. You just click on it and just start the DIVA. Now remember one thing, we know that inside your Android phone or inside your Genymotion Android emulator, there are some places which are meant for a world readable, and we know that if you just move in the shell of your Android phone. So I'm just moving into the shell of our Android phone. And I'm just writing a clear, and I'm just writing ls. Now we know that there are one partition is called data partition, but that data partition is not world readable. Is it if your mobile phone is not rooted, then you are not able to access this /data partition. But there is one partition which is meant for a world readable, that is called SD card. So I'll say /mnt ls clear, sorry, ls. You can find the SD card. Okay, now we'll move into the SD card. Okay, and we'll write ls. Now inside the SD card you will find some of the directory structures, and this directory will store the data which is accessible to the world readable. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to access this, I would say, the details, is it, or the or we are trying to access this folder through the web view. So what we are going to do is we are just trying to move into the input validations issue part 2. You just click on it. Now what is objective is try to access any sensitive informations apart from the web URL, and the ultimate aim to learn is improper or no input validations issues arises when the input is not filtered or the validate before use it. When the developing content that take the input from the outside, always validate it. The moral of the story is you have to validate the input, or you need to sanitize the input, before processing. That is what the ultimate moral of the story. Now what we are trying to do is, normally the people, they will write the http colon slash slash gfsu.edu.in or anything like this one, or www.xyz.com. Now we are not trying to enter the valid data. We are trying to enter something which which may result or which may reveal some important informations from the phone. So what we are going to do is, if you would like to access any of the resources from the mobile phone, you can use a file colon slash slash. I'm going to write mnt, and I'll say write SD card. Okay, and with this SD card, let me take a pictures, because we know that this is also the one of the directories is available inside our SD card. So we are trying to access that directory, and try to, when we are just trying to see that what it will display. So when you click on it, I'll not able to access it, but when you click, that will display something on or here only. Okay, or let me try to create one, I'll say the file inside that directory, and try to access that file through this through this file URL. Let me create one simple file there only. So let me do one thing. Let me create one file here only. I am in the Santoku, and I'll say web view. Okay, a file is created, and I'm just right inside this. Use web view. I'm going to close this file. I'll say yes. Now let me move into the terminal here only, and we are in the terminal of the Santoku. So what we are trying to do is, we are just trying to push this value from the Santoku to I would say the Genymotion emulator. So we just write adp. Sorry, we have to check that we are in the same directory or not. Okay, we are in the same directory, so I'll write adp push web view, and there we would like to push this into the /mnt/ SD card. Okay, so now I have opened two terminal, one for my Santoku and one for just check the content inside or to access some of the directories of your Genymotion Android emulator. So this is what the second terminal is. This is a terminal where I'm accessing the shell of your Android emulator. So I'm going to write just ls. I think we need to move into the cd/mnt, and inside the mnt we know that there is SD card. When you write ls, you can find the web view here. So we just push the file from the Santoku to this Android emulator, and let me check that what is inside it. We just write that abuse web view. So now this is where this file is available. This file is available inside the SD card. Now what we are trying to do is, we are trying to access this file through our, I would say, through the activity. So insecure, I think input validations 2, and here instead of writing the URL, what we are going to write is, we are going to write is file colon slash slash, and we know that it is mnt SD card slash webview.txt. Okay, just a minute, let me check that it was a txt. Now I don't know, I have to check that it is a txt or not. I'll try this one. Okay, so when you tried SD card, because it was not txt, when I have created that file, I am not putting any kind of extension. So this is like the SD card slash wave view. Now what I'm able to do it, I am able to access the file inside the SD card, and you can even read that what was written inside that file. So this is basically a abuse web view, because the web view, they are basically meant for, you'll provide meant for display the HTML page or any of the web content. But what the people they will do, they will use that text box for accessing some of the sensitive files from your device also. So input before processing the input which was taken from the user, it has to be sanitized in a very well way. Now we'll back to our presentation, and this is what I would like to discuss with you. And I think this is enough for today, and in the next sessions we'll talk about some other concept. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.